During the 2025 Pure Worship Regional Convention of Jehovah's Witnesses, the public talk on Sunday was given by Gilead instructor Mark Newmare. The talk was entitled, "Do You Worship What You Know?" Its aim was to challenge listeners to use their thinking ability in harmony with Romans chapter 12 and verse 1, which says to present your bodies as a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable to God, a sacred service with your power of reason. According to that, he says, all in the audience should examine the Bible carefully for themselves and not simply go along with what they were taught while growing up, or to merely accept whatever is the prevailing view in society. He then went on to present a person in history worthy of imitation. As an example of someone who didn't just go along with the prevailing view of his times, he related the experience of Nicolaus Copernicus.
How should we worship God? By simply accepting what's been passed down to us through generations or through families or what's popular in our community? Is that what we want to do? Would that be using our power of reason? No, it wouldn't. In fact, history has shown us that true discoveries are made when a person decides not to simply accept the current belief of his day, but rather digs for the truth himself, digs for the truth. For example, astronomer Nicholas Copernicus used his power of reason to prove that the earth revolves around the sun and not the other way around. He came to that correct conclusion when it went against popular belief back then.
This is a very interesting example. According to the April 1st, 2005 Watchtower Views, influenced another Catholic scientist. Next on the scene was Italian astronomer, mathematician, and physicist Galileo Galilei, 1564 to 1642, also a Catholic. Using telescopes that he built incorporating the newly invented lens, Galileo saw the heavens in unprecedented detail. His observations convinced him that Copernicus was correct. Galileo unnecessarily made powerful enemies for himself by his quick wit and cutting sarcasm. Also, by arguing that the heliocentric concept harmonized with Scripture, he presented himself as an authority on religion, which further provoked the Church. Leaders of the Protestant Reformation also railed against the sun-centered concept. They included Martin Luther, 1483 to 1546, Philip Melanchthon, 1497 to 1560, and John Calvin, 1509 to 64. Luther said of Copernicus, "This fool wishes to reverse the entire science of astronomy." The Reformers based their argument on a literal interpretation of certain scriptures, such as the account in Joshua chapter 10 that mentions that the sun and the moon kept motionless. The Watchtower, April 1st, 2005, pages 3 and 4, Science and Religion, the Birth of a Conflict. So what are the key points of the conflict? The Church's interpretation of Scripture often favored a geocentric view, making heliocentrism a theological issue as well as a scientific one. The Church's concern with maintaining its authority and preventing the spread of ideas it deemed heretical played a significant role in its response to both Copernicus and Galileo. While Copernicus presented his theory as a mathematical model, Galileo actively promoted it as a physical reality, which directly challenged the Church's established view. Galileo's trial and condemnation highlighted the Church's opposition to scientific ideas that contradicted its doctrines and its willingness to use its power to suppress dissenting views. What's interesting about this is the Watchtower organization follows in the exact same pattern. They would condemn anyone that openly disagrees with the biblical interpretations that have been handed down by the governing body, whom they view as the faithful and discreet slave chosen by God to be his sole channel of communication on earth today. Anyone openly disagreeing with even minor doctrines would be regarded as an apostate and completely shunned by everyone in the organization.
Hey, Justin, I want you to read this article I just sent you. It's going to change the way you see the organization. Get back to me. Did you get that message I sent you?
Why would you send that to me? Better yet, why are you reading that garbage? It's all lies.
Garbage? How do you know if it's garbage if you haven't even read it?
Listen, you need to talk with your elders, because you need help. And if you don't speak to them, I will.
Wow. That's what you feel. I need help. I don't need any help, man. I'm finding the answers to my questions, bro. And I'm keeping an open mind.
Open mind? You're ignoring Jehovah's thinking.
The thing the governing body fears the most is when one of Jehovah's Witnesses starts to think for themselves and begins to carefully examine what he has been taught. So they present videos like this one in order to mentally condition loyal witnesses to immediately reject any criticism of the organization as if it were something coming from the devil.
The truth saved our lives.
Look, man, how long have we known each other? I would never steer you wrong. I'm not out to hurt you. I'm trying to help you. How long have you known me?
Tell these stones to become loaves of bread.
I'm trying to share with you the truth.
Throw yourself down.
Do you really think I would steer you wrong?
I will give you all this authority.
I definitely don't need any help from them.
Do an act of worship before me. Go away, Satan!
Stop.
The Catholic Church later apologized for its treatment of Galileo. However, the Watchtower Society has never apologized to anyone they condemned as an apostate, even when changes were later made to their erroneous doctrines.